You're sitting on the couch. A thought hits you. You need something from the kitchen. You stand up, full of purpose. You walk in, and nothing. Total blank. Why am I here? You stand there like a rebooting computer. You check your hands. Maybe you retrace your steps. It's almost funny, except it happens to everyone, constantly. And it makes you wonder if your memory is falling apart. It's not. Your memory is fine. What just happened has a name. It's been tested in labs, and the culprit isn't your brain. It's the door you just walked through. What you felt is so common and consistent that scientists gave it a name, the doorway effect. And the first clue this isn't a failing memory? It happens to young, sharp, healthy people just as much as anyone. Sharp college students do it in the lab on demand. It's not age, not stress, not losing your mind. It's a built-in feature of how every human brain handles moving through space. Which raises a strange question. How can a doorway, a literal hole in a wall, reach into your head and delete a thought? To find out, scientists built an experiment almost too simple to believe. In 2011, a psychologist named Gabriel Radvansky at the University of Notre Dame ran a study with a wonderfully blunt title, Walking Through Doorways Causes Forgetting. The setup was tiny. People picked up an object from a table, carried it, and put it down at another table, sometimes across one big room, other times the exact same distance, but through a doorway into a second room. Same object, same distance, same effort. The only difference was a door, and the people who walked through the doorway were 2 to 3 times more likely to forget what they were carrying, triggered by nothing but a threshold. You might think, okay, it's the walking, the effort, the distraction. So they tested that. They ran the whole thing inside a video game where your body never moves at all. Same result. Move a character through a virtual doorway and you forget, even though you never stood up. So it's not the physical effort, not the distance your legs traveled. It's the doorway as an idea. And it gets stranger. In some versions, simply imagining walking through a doorway was enough to nudge the forgetting. A door you never touched, in a room that didn't exist, wiping a thought. So what is your brain doing? Here's the mechanism. Your brain doesn't store your life as one long, continuous film. That would be impossible. Instead, it chops your experience into chunks, into scenes. Psychologists call them event models. Each scene has its own little world, where you are, what's around you, what you're trying to do. While you're in the living room, your brain runs the living room scene. The couch, the TV, and your goal. Get the scissors. And then you walk through a doorway. To your brain, that threshold is a signal, a hard cut. This scene is over. A new one is starting. And that single cut is where the trouble begins. When a scene ends, your brain does something efficient and slightly ruthless. It takes the old scene, the whole living room world including your goal, and files it away to make room for the new one. So now you're in the kitchen, running a brand new kitchen scene. Fresh world, fresh attention. But your goal, get the scissors, is back in the cabinet, tucked inside the living room scene you just closed. The thought isn't gone, it's in the other room. That's the whole trick. The blank you feel isn't deletion, it's a filing error. You're looking for a thought in the kitchen, but your brain filed it under living room the instant you crossed the threshold. Here's the reframe that changes everything. This isn't your brain failing. It's your brain working exactly as designed. And to see why, look at how little you can actually hold in your head at once. Your working memory is small. The world around you is enormous and always changing. If your brain kept every room, every goal, every detail live at once, it would jam in seconds. So it segments. It clears the old scene to stay sharp in the new one. The forgetting is the price of that efficiency. Your brain keeps you fully present in the room you're actually in, by letting go of the one you just left. The doorway didn't break your mind. It revealed the rule it runs on, one scene at a time. So can you beat it? Mostly yes, once you know the rule. The first fix is almost too simple. Before you cross the threshold, turn your fuzzy intention into a sharp, spoken one. Don't drift toward the kitchen. Say it. Scissors, scissors, scissors. A clear, specific goal is harder to file away by accident than a vague one. And if you do blank, there's a second trick the research hints at. Walk back into the room you started in. Stepping back through the doorway can reopen the file, and the thought often pops right back. And there's a nice twist in the newest work. Those scene breaks aren't purely bad. Information you grab right at a boundary can actually stick better. So the doorway that steals a vague thought can also sharpen a deliberate one. It cuts both ways. So the next time you freeze in a doorway, completely blank, don't panic. You're not broken. You're watching your own mind do something quietly brilliant. It's chopping the chaos of your life into clean, separate scenes so you can stay present in each one. The cost is a thought left behind in the last room. The reward is a mind that doesn't drown in everything at once. That blank moment isn't a glitch in your memory. It's proof your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do, keeping you here, now, in the room you're standing in, even if you've forgotten why.